Hey everybody, in this video we are looking at the Greatsword of Solitude, which is a new weapon in Shadow of the Erdtree. You can see I've got it equipped here. So I've got this fully upgraded to +10, so we'll take a look at the stats for that, as well as go over the moveset for the weapon and the new skill that it comes with called Solitary Moonslash. I'll also go over some options for builds and item enhancements that you can use with this weapon, as well as show some gameplay, both PvP and PvE, so you can kind of see what it looks like in action. But first, just quickly going over the location if you don't have this weapon yet and want to get it for yourself. Alright, so starting off, you can get this weapon right at the very beginning of the game. It's right next to the starting point in this western nameless mausoleum, which is where we're at currently. So within here, there is the Black Jail boss fight that you need to do. Once you defeat him, you will get the sword as well as this full armor set as a reward. If you haven't done this yet, the one tip I will say is you want to rush in there right away and interrupt his first attack. He kind of comes out guns blazing Rambo style, and if you don't interrupt that attack, it kind of ends your day pretty quick. So after that, mostly a pretty straightforward fight, just kind of be patient, dodge his attacks, but you just want to make sure that you interrupt his crossbow attack whenever he tries to pull that out. Now taking a look at the stats, I've got the base version on the left and the +10 version on the right. So as you can see, once fully upgraded, you get an A strength scale and a D for dexterity. So it is primarily a strength-based weapon. I've built my character with this in mind. As you can see, I've got 80 strength and 40 dexterity. This is giving me an additional 553 damage on the weapon. One other thing to call out here as well is the guard boost, which is really high at 58, and I'll be talking a bit more about this later. As mentioned, this also comes with the skill called Solitary Moonslash. You can see the description for that here. It sharply slashes downward using the greatsword, shooting forward an arc of light, so it has a little bit of a ranged attack there, and then it also has the option for a follow-up strong attack. So if you want to use this, it's 12 FP for the first attack, and then 10 FP additionally for the optional follow-up. For the moveset, I'll demonstrate the attacks in both single-handed and two-handed, so you can see what those all look like. I'll also provide some damage numbers on the screen for each, so you can kind of have some context of the output of each one of those as well. So starting off in single-handed, we've got the regular attack combo, which is a 4 attack. Then we've got the heavy attack combo, which is 2. And then we've got the charged heavy attack with a follow-up. And then here is the rolling regular attack, the rolling heavy attack, and then we've got the backstep regular attack, backstep heavy attack, and then we will do a sprinting regular attack, and then we'll do a sprinting heavy attack. And then wrapping things up, we got the jump attacks, so there's a light, and here's a heavy. Now moving over to two-handed mode, we'll go through the same sequence. So we've got the regular attack 4-hit combo. And then the 2-hit strong or heavy attack combo. And then we've got the charged heavy with a follow-up. And then we'll do the rolling attacks. We've got the regular here and the rolling heavy. And then we've got the back steps. This is regular. This is strong or heavy. And then we'll do a sprinting regular attack. Sprinting heavy attack. And then finally we've got the jump regular and jump heavy. Moving over to the skill Solitary Moonslash. So as mentioned, this has 2 total inputs that you can do. The first input is the ranged slash attack there, which looks like that. So that's 12 FP to use. And then if you want to do a follow-up, you can use a strong attack after that to do additional damage. So you have the first input and then the follow-up, which costs an additional 10 FP. And then showing some damage output of that, we've got the initial attack, so we get 1584 on that, and then an additional 1570 with the follow-up attack. This is dependent on range though, so if we back up a little bit, we can still hit the enemy with that light attack, that arc of light or whatever they call it. But you can see we only do 1201 of damage because we're not getting that additional physical damage from the sword. So you can see 1584 versus 1201. So you can, I mean, it does have fairly good range. You can hit somebody from even way back here. However, that follow-up, you need to be a little bit closer. So you can see we missed there. So probably around in this range is probably about as far as we could go out to get the full sequence. So you can see there, but again, we're kind of missing that physical damage on the first part of the attack. For the build on this weapon that I'm using and the talismans to kind of enhance the weapon further, this is what I decided to go with. So starting off, Erdtree's Favor +2. That was mainly because I was at heavy equip load and this helped me get to medium, but also gives additional HP and stamina, so just sort of an all-around talisman. But in terms of weapon-specific things, so starting off, what I went with was Curved Sword Talisman, which enhances guard counters. This is actually a playstyle I've never really used a whole lot, so it's kind of fun to switch things up. But as mentioned when we went over the stats, the guard boost on this weapon is very, very high. So I'll kind of demonstrate that in the gameplay, but it's a really effective thing to use on this weapon, and then this just enhances the damage of those counterattacks. Then next is the Two-Handed Sword Talisman. This just enhances the damage using it in two-handed mode. And then also the Shard of Alexander to boost the attack power of the skill Solitary Moonslash. So doing some damage comparisons to see the impact of the talismans, I've got everything unequipped right now. So just kind of a regular attack hit to get a base damage. That was 1560. So then if we equip the Two-Handed Talisman, so that increases to 1794. And then we'll unequip that again and do a counter attack. We'll do a counter heavy attack to see what the base damage on that is. So that's 1982. Let's actually kill this guy. So we got 1982 base, and then let's equip both the Two-Handed Sword Talisman and then also the I missed it. The Curved Sword Talisman. There we go. So now we got the two-handed and the guard counter benefit, and that increases to 2,735. And then with Shard of Alexander equipped, looking at the skill. So originally we had 1584 and 1570 on the attacks here. So now with this we've got 1822 and 1806. And then the sort of ranged attack version of that we had 1201, and now that is, oops, I need some FP. 1201 and 13, now it's 1381. All right, so that is the build that I decided to go with for this weapon, which I think works fairly well. You've kind of got the close encounters aspect of this weapon covered, utilizing the guard counters and the high guard boost stat of this weapon. But it's also got that ranged attack using the Solitary Moonslash skill that it comes with. So some nice versatility there. So I'll show some gameplay using that in both PvP and PvE, so you can see what it all looks like in action. All right, so wrapping things up, that was a look at the Greatsword of Solitude, upgraded to +10. An overall nice addition to the Greatsword category in Elden Ring, I think. It's got a nice ranged attack with that solitary moonslash, and if you're looking for a playstyle where you're utilizing guarding a lot, this is definitely a weapon to choose. Overall, I think it's a solid weapon. I don't think it's probably in my favorite of all time category, but definitely usable. And if you're looking for, again, I think primarily something where you utilize guard counters and things like that, I think this is a really good choice. And then also the ranged attack mixed in with that makes it a pretty versatile weapon. One thing I didn't touch on with that skill is if you notice, if you connect on that follow-up attack on the solitary moonslash, you often knock back enemies and they land on the ground, which is a pretty powerful aspect of the skill as well. But anyways, wrapping things up, pretty solid weapon. So if you're interested, check it out. And hopefully this video helped you decide if you want to do that or not. So thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Bye.